it's Laura Smith from the Breakup Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am answering Sharon's question. And Sharon writes in and says, question for Laura, I have been divorced 18 years and I still miss my ex-husband. He is in my head, my dreams. He told my daughter-in-law he still loves me. We have no children together. We had a brief phone call a year ago, and he said he was not yet ready to talk to me. He lives with the woman he had the affair with. I want an opportunity to meet and talk with him. Closure and or validation that our connection and or love is still alive. What steps can you recommend? Well, Sharon, thank you so much for this question. I see a few things in the question that will really help me to give you some steps to help you through this time. The first thing that I want to tell you, and I have seen this before, is that it's time for you to begin to accept that you may never have closure. So sometimes we really feel like, oh my goodness, I need to know why. I need to know this. I want to find out for sure if things aren't going to work out or things are going to work out. I just need to know. And unfortunately, there are times in life when we'll never know. And so frequently, this is one of those times. And even though that's probably not the answer that you wanted, and you don't want me to recommend that step, I would say that for you, the best thing to do is to begin to lean into that and get really comfortable with the fact that you may never know. And so knowing that, are you going to wait around in case one day you get that closure? Or are you going to start living your life and accept the fact that you might never have it? And that's okay. That's okay. Now, since you have been having dreams about him, he's in your head, and that kind of thing, what I would recommend for you, Sharon, is to play a pretend game with me. So what I'd like you to do in this pretend game is let's pretend that your ex-husband has decided to move to Mars. And so it's an interplanetary relationship potentially, and there's no internet, there's no phone lines, nothing between here and Mars. So guess what? There's no way to have a relationship with him at all. It's completely removed from possibility. So what would you do with yourself then? What would happen to Sharon? And one of the things that I'm guessing, Sharon, is that it's possible you may move in to some grief. And the reason for that is because maybe all this time, these years that you've been hoping and thinking you needed closure and that type of thing, you've sort of shelved that sort of grief over the end of the relationship. And so if you knew that he was on Mars, that might come back to you. And I see this happen quite a bit. And I always say you can run, but you can't hide. If you try to get away from dealing with your emotions, they're always there waiting for you. And so you could move into that. You could move into a space like that. But then you might also move into a space of, wow, this feels so much better. I don't have to worry about what if or this or that. I can just maybe start living my life. And that might be where you start to go. And I'd love for you to go there. The place is, today we're not getting back together. So what do I want my day today to look like? I would love you to get up in the morning and ask yourself that question. So let's start with something small, which is today. It's the present moment. It's all you have. What would I do with today if we're not getting back together? And then start asking, what would I do this week or this weekend if I knew for sure we weren't getting back together? And try to begin doing things for you that feel good if you knew that he was on Mars and there was absolutely nothing going on with him. And what we're doing here is you're starting to build a life yourself. And that's so important, because 18 years of wondering and hoping, and I'm imagining putting your life on hold, is way, way too long, Sharon. I want you to start getting out there and start living and start enjoying a life that you create for yourself. So if you can, start to look at it from that point of view. He's on Mars, so what does my today look like? He's going to be on Mars next month. What does my today look like? He's going to be on Mars next year. What do I want to do with my life since he's on Mars? And then thirdly, I want to say that you indicate that he had an affair with someone while you were married, and he's still with that person. And so, Sharon, I just want to say to you that you in no way, shape, or form deserved that. You did not deserve for him to have an affair and be unfaithful during your marriage. And I want to tell you that you're too fabulous for him. And maybe you're sitting there going, but wait a second, Laura, he's got all these great qualities and you don't know about this, and then he did this one day and blah, blah, blah. And what I'd love for you to do is start taking off those rose-colored glasses that have you remembering only the good times. Because we all have struggles when we're in a relationship. And I want you to know that you are a wonderful, fabulous person, and you don't deserve that. And so try to begin seeing him in a more realistic light. I think that that will help this process too. So I know I've identified a few things here, Sharon. I really, really, really hope that it helps you. And I also want to say that if you want to dig a little bit deeper and you'd like to talk to me a little bit about a journey that we could take together in order to help you get where you want to be, I would love to talk to you. So you and anyone else, if anyone else this is kind of touching a nerve and you want to see if I can help, just go to the little box on my website that says Meet Me in the upper left hand corner. We can chat and see if I can help. It's absolutely no pressure. So in the meantime, I wish you all a very, very wonderful weekend and a happy Valentine's Day. I'll be thinking of you and sending you love on that day. And until next time, talk to you later. Bye-bye.